I want to talk about sex offender registration and make sure there are a few things you absolutely know. See, in Texas, being required to register as a sex offender is not a minor detail. It's a life-altering legal obligation. It dictates where you can work, where you can live, and how society perceives you. And it follows you long after the case is closed, and in some instances, for the rest of your life. I'm David Kiatta with Segura & Kiatta, a criminal defense law firm in Sugar Land, Texas. If you or someone you know is facing an offense that will require sex offender registration, reach out to us. Too often people don't understand the full implications and consequences of sex offender registration in Texas. I'm going to explain the process, how it works, and the risks of non-compliance with registration. So let's break down registration. First, what is registration? If you're convicted of a qualifying sex offense, you are required to register with the local law enforcement agent in your area, either with the city or with the county in which you live. The registration process includes providing personal information, name, address, phone number, online identifiers, license plate, height, weight, social security, and a lot of other information. Registration is not optional, it's mandatory, and the law does not allow for leniency. Once you register, your name, address, personal information, and information about your offense will be made available online to the public. That means neighbors and employers can research you and find out why you have to register. And in certain circumstances, law enforcement has to send out letters to your neighbors telling them they live near a registered sex offender. So how long does registration last? Well, the length of time a person's required to register depends on the nature of the offense. Some individuals are required to register for 10 years after their sentence is served. Some people are required to register for the rest of their natural life. There's no universal timeline. The court's judgment, the offense, will dictate how long a person has to register. Next, people who are required to register can have restrictions placed on them about where they can live. Most cities have a law that ban a person who has to register from living within so many feet of a park, a playground, or a pool. Many jobs may be permanently off the table, and in some cases, your internet and social media will be monitored by law enforcement. After you register the first time, the process isn't over. You have to register on a regular basis, sometimes annually or sometimes every 90 days. The frequency of registration depends on the offense the person was convicted of. If you have a change of address or employment or vehicle, you have to notify law enforcement of any changes. One missed deadline or overlooked detail can land a person back in court facing a new felony charge. Securing employment or finding housing is very difficult for people who have to register. Unfortunately, social isolation is a harsh reality of registration. So in closing, sex offender registration is a serious long-term legal obligation. It shapes your future in profound ways, impacting where you work, where you can live, and who you can associate with. If you're facing a charge that requires registration, don't wait, give us a call. Or if you're accused of violating your registration, call us immediately. We know what's at stake and how to fight for you. Contact us today for a confidential consultation. Your future deserves an experienced strategic defense.